I really think that Paradigm, again, lost their game in picks and bans. They'll have another shot at it. We're going right into game 2. Paradigm trying to find a chink in the armor of the world champions.
So once again, Panthera will be first pick, first ban. They're not going to change things up for this one. Paradigm going to go the same way. Will we see a salty run back?
I hope not, because that comp, it got them some early game damage, early game kills, but it did not equate to anything in the end game. Neith going to be taken away. Of all the characters on that team, Neith, I think, was the least problematic in my eyes.
I think they're so worried about it. I think that's the issue because emilitoo will play it very, very well. He's unafraid to go aggressive with a Neith,
Which
is
I
not something
love.
you do very often, but it happens. And Yammyn played it very well in that game, was top damage for the most part. And they're just basically double shotting, like, listen, Yammyn, listen, emilitoo, you're playing something else. That's the story. But Khepri's up.
And with Soul taken away, that's another shot to themselves. But like you said, Khepri's here. He has been nerfed, but they're going to give it a shot anyway. We haven't seen him yet, have we?
But we've not seen him because he's still been banned for
Right.
the most part. Now, Khepri, for me, yes, this hurts his early game, the health nerf to him, but he's still going to bring the same thing to the table. He's just going to be a little bit safer in the early game now. He's going to bring great damage reduction, great team fight control, and that all-important ultimate.
Geb and Khepri both get picked up. I wouldn't mind seeing a Jungle Athena here from Paradigm as well. Just getting like really tanky front line.
They could go a Wheelix. Oh no, they're going to go Nisha.
Nasha. Wow. Okay, so QvoFred going in the opposite direction goes from Guardian support to Assassin.
And Qvo's one of those that will do it all the time. Odin was banned out against him in this set
Yep.
still. And surprised to see Trix go for the Geb here because he likes the Guan Yu as well, which he likes the aggressive warriors for the most part. Somebody can be aggressive on Geb is not somebody he's used to being aggressive on.
To little surprise, Hou-Yi gets locked in, likely to be for emilitoo, but we have seen a myriad of hunters played in the mid lane. But it's going to be Isis for Yammyn. Yammyn decides he's going to join the rest of us humans and play a mage.
And to be fair, Isis has kind of slipped down the rankings so far, it seems. Did have a little bit of a change this patch, though. Wingus got a little bit of a nerf. It's not a big thing. Still going to be dominant in the early game with a wave push.
Yeah.
Still going to have that amazing spirit balls. We saw them at Lassus yesterday.
Yeah.
They're still available.
Vamana gets locked in.
Hey.
Again, not a big surprise here. This is one of the characters that Xaliea really made his name on. And with how strong the baby has been in Season 3 so far, I think this is the way to go.
I would ban Tier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dimi would just go, all right, just give me Tier. It's fine. I'll just farm. I won't die. I'll turn up in team fights. I'll feel it's 3 of you, and we'll win the fight.
Ra getting taken away. Remember, too, Vamana healing, Nasha healing, Ra. I would have liked to see let through.
Now, Ra and EU has been played more and more, but the big key here is the Nijar Ra combo, right?
It's true.
Basically, Nijar takes someone up in the sky and you snipe him on landing. Scylla was the other one. This all started with a lot of the conspiracy, by the way, some super regionals, but since then, more and more have started to adopt it.
So Ra and Raijin get banned. Isis picked, and Chronos banned as well. So and Soul. So this is almost guaranteed to be Janus. Unless they're going to do some more
I can't
janky
see.
stuff.
It's got to be Janus. It's got to be. There's no reason not to go
There
Janus
he
in this
is.
situation. And will it be mid lane though, or will it be?
Yes.
I don't think. Geb?
I don't think they're going to do that again.
I think that was just a one-off.
Yeah, I mean, with Hou-Yi being picked up, would you want to play Janus into Hou-Yi?
No.
Oh, Guan Yu. We forgot all about
I
Guan.
mentioned him earlier when Geb was locked in for Trix. I was like, why not Guan? He loves the Guan. He likes the aggression, but the Guan into Vamana, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah. And then Thor for adapting. This is a very strong comp once again. Panthera.
How did they get these characters?
That face when you're against Panthera and Thor's the last pick.
Yeah, right.
That's just a rough situation. Paradigm have one more to go, and it's going to be Apollo this
Okay.
time around up against Hou-Yi.
Huh.
Golden Bow.
That's
Potential
true.
start.
I would like to see it.
We've seen it more and more. Like we saw Game Hunter do it in the set for Torpedo and Solo Lane.
Golden Bow crit builds are crazy right
I
now.
can see that.
I mean, no one's doing it. We actually have seen multiple people buy the Golden Bow, but they're going into chin size, not crit. I want to see crit.
I think we could see the return of crit because of it. Especially the RNG in the early game, if it connects,
It's obnoxious.
It could cause an issue. Apollo, with his internal steroid of his passive, will make an impact. If he goes for the Golden Bow start, which he does. Here we go.
Nice. We got a Transcendence coming out from emilitoo. Everyone else looks to be pretty... What in the hell is that?
That's a
Also, that was a
ricochet.
triple bounce.
That's a ricochet. What in the hell in?
When you see it, man.
Oh, I wasn't looking. Vamana again?
You see these boots?
Yeah, well, do you know he's done that before, right?
What?
He did that in his last set.
Did
up
he
against
really?
Vamana. Yep.
I didn't
on
notice
Vamana,
that.
On
What is
Vamana,
this?
He went reinforced Greaves at the start with 2 health potions
Right.
and just tried to... He knew he wasn't going to lose the lane. It's what his thinking was, I feel. And he just, like, snowballed it from there.
But
Went
how is
full
he
boots
gonna
into
clear?
Breastplate of Valor.
Can we actually hover on the reinforced
Give you power.
reinforced greaves?
They
It
give you
gives
power.
a little bit of power.
Extra
fine. Health, crowd control reduction. I mean, he doesn't really need the CCR.
Now, I don't know. To be fair,
Movement speed is great, though.
18% movement speed early on the baby that
This
got
is-
a buff for the movement speed
Yeah,
overall
that's
this season.
True.
I've
This
seen
is
the second
actually
time he's done
really
it.
interesting.
Second time he's done it overall
On the child.
on the child.
Okay.
He's actually done it on the baby twice. Last time around, I want to say he was against an Amaterasu, but maybe I was wrong about that.
They start mid camps very smart, taking away some of that gold and experience from Yammyn. And they're going to be pushing this pretty easily.
But they got spotted doing those right-hand harpies too, and Isis Thor will outclear Nijar Janus every day of the week, which means these mid harpies are going to split, which means Lawbster technically is going to lose out on farm unless they go to the back harpies together.
They have to do something very, very quickly. Yammyn and Adapting are going to go right in.
Or maybe not, no. They kind of hesitate the second they did Adapting and Yammyn, and now, well, it's going to be an even fight here, but it's still Isis Thor.
I would not take this fight if I were Paradigm.
I would take this fight if it was a
Go
Yuka
for the
team.
steal, but there's no way you commit to this. Just let him have it.
I mean, Qvo or Ring Toss could try and do something, but if he gets hit by any damage here, Adapting's going to zone, realize what's going on. Now they're going to take this. So, overall, Panthera, the ones that are going to come out and top for the
Invade.
time being.
I think we'll get an invade here. You see them kind of gesturing
Invade
into
for
the
what,
jungle.
though? Invade
They're going to take a back camp, just something to take
There's
away.
nothing up, though. Yeah. There's nothing up
Oh,
in the
you're
jump for them to take.
right.
So, like, they go look potentially for the left-hand harpies. They're down. The only one they've got is their own back harpies, which is a detriment to Lawbster now, who's behind on experience for the time being against Yammyn in mid.
Pretty significantly as well. Not getting any mid camps can definitely hurt. Look at the combo. One of my favorite combos. We used to run a lot of 2v2 tournaments, and Isis Thor was always something that people loved because you just...
Wall, Spirit Ball, double tap, Berserker Barrage,
There's
Wingust.
just so much damage that comes out so quickly. And I think actually emilitoo fell victim to something similar, which is always fun.
Dimi going to make a rotation over to the Imps to join his two teammates of Panthera, who continue getting an experience lead at the moment.
Where are you going there? You're gonna go do the board adapting? See, this is something that we're not seeing enough of. The jungler in this meta is so stuck in mid lane that no one ever changes. No one ever goes for the invade enough on the early
And
boards.
Zay's going to find out now, as he's going to get poked.
He's
used
maybe
his
dead.
dash, and the wall came down. The double tap was clinical.
Are you serious? He threw that so late and still found the way. Let's talk about the fact that that was one of the most perfect walls we have ever seen in competitive Smite. It not only stopped the dash, but it stuck him on the side of the tower that he couldn't escape to. Oh, and now he's going into the hole.
Mid lane.
This
Where's
guy
he
never
going to
stops.
land on the double?
Got them both.
Looking for the damage as well. The wall hit as the Spirit Ball. There was no purification for Qvo as it was burnt the last time round.
my God.
2-0 Adapting off to a flyer.
Adapting's like, all right, man, wow, I forgot about this Thor guy. This is easy.
Remember this guy? To be fair, he got nerfed though, because like my wall used to be on a lower cooldown.
Man,
That
I
nobody
don't
realized.
even need 4 attack speed items to kill anyone. This is awesome. I could just kill people.
Great start for the boys of Panthera, at least for Adapting and Yammyn in the mid lane. 1,000 experience, 800 gold lead, and most of that is going to be on that jungler.
It is absolutely a crime that a team has not picked up Panthera yet, that no one has drafted a contract where they have gone, we deserve this contract. They're still out there shopping right now.
I'm waiting for a Burrito to actually offer him a contract.
What?
Burrito Esports.
That's not a real thing. He just got soloed.
I mean, the impact was there, especially when you take into account the fact that he did get picked up by Adapting
no,
early
and
on.
they rotated. Dimi's going to see that both of them are here. It's likely they call for a Gold Fury.
Well, they steal the red.
Oh, no. Well, they got the red. I thought they were going to go for gold there.
There's still 2 over the right side, but they're not going to do it. It's going to pressure mid. Adapting, though, going to cut off in the option here. Blue buff is available on this side of the map, too. He may be able to spot that one out. He's actually just zoning Lawbster and Qvo away from the experience more often than anything else.
Well,
It's so funny when you see him walk in the jungle like that, nobody would really realize that what his intention was, to just stop them coming that way to get to the gold.
yeah, it's true.
Lose a whole wave of experience in mid lane. Lawbster further behind now, trying to make rotations. Yammyn ahead in experience, even though it doesn't look like it now. But he's in gold, which shows.
And emilitoo keeps even pace,
Yeah.
which is not a good thing for Funballer, considering he started throwing dagger, which is usually considered an early game item compared to Transcendence, which is beginning a snowball.
And actually, I feel what that comes back to is we actually see Funballer hit
Shut
by a
up!
huge double tap. Adapting gets hit by the ult by Khepri for mobility here. It wasn't for
Oh
secure, it
my
was for
God.
mobility and power spike.
Tried to cleanse him.
They get the kill. Funballer falls down as well. But the other thing is, Khepri was the big difference in this factor in this lane, right? Khepri's extra wave clear power that he's got will help out Hou Yi in the early game with the ricochet when it's slower down.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Khepri, this would have worked out better with Geb Apollo.
And now Adapting finds himself on a killing spree. 3 kills at less than 5 minutes on the clock with a 700 gold advantage right now over his opponent, QvoFred. Mid lane, 200 gold advantage for Yammyn. But he's going boots, whereas we see Lawbster going directly into the Doom Orb.
Trying to rush the Doom Orb online. Boots should be finished here for Yammyn. He'll be heading back to base right about now as Adapting does the imps. And it's been the Adapting show so far. 3-0 in 5 minutes. Involved in, pretty much, I want to say he's involved in all the kills, even though he didn't get credit for the one that Dimi soloed Xaliea, but he was there for 4 minutes in the game, which is a big impact.
This, to me, has been the second best jungle showing we have had all season.
What was the first?
Korea in my rank game today went 10-1 or 19-1
Nobody
and 10.
cares about your rank game.
Dude, Korea bodied, bro.
Nobody
Come
cares
on.
about your
He
rank
used to be
games.
a sub. It's fine.
Korea's a good player,
He's
but
a
nobody cares about your rank game. Nobody. There's not one person in chat that's out there like, oh, I'm so glad Diem told me that. I've learned so much by listening to about Korea.
I really hope Korea winds up on a team and just starts that BM train of like, Hindu man's not a good caster.
I don't get salty. I just fire shots back. That's all I do. iRaffer going to root out Funballer. Not going to find it, though, as him and emilitoo going to continue farming up the left-hand side, Adapting, dominating mid lane at the moment, pushing another wave in. Troller Shoes online for iRaffer, so going to get the extra mobility out on the Scarab, as well as some extra gold every time he throws out some damage.
So I didn't really notice the build the first time Xaliea did this. And
Yep.
maybe
It's the same build.
Maybe whoever, I mean, was it Fnatic that he did it on?
It was against Fnatic. It was the only game of the season, so yeah, it was against Fnatic.
So, I mean, there's a pretty big difference, I would say, between Dimi and Mania. Actually, that's not true.
That's not true.
But there's definitely a big difference between Adapting and Jiffy.
I can't actually remember what it was. I think it was against a Bologna, actually. It was against a Bologna. It was Bologna versus Vamana, and he went Reinforced Greaves start straight away.
Which
And I
gives
thought it
him-
was because of the matchup, that he was like, okay, cool, this is a positive matchup for me. I don't feel Guan Yu is a positive matchup.
No, it's actually pretty difficult.
Ricochet hits 3 times.
Awesome.
emilitoo's knowing his angles in this game. Talk about angles, you saw that ring bounce between all 3 of them. That's more than 3 shots.
And Adapting goes over towards the left side. Camp's about to spawn here as you see the blinking starting. Another set of mid camps go the way of Panthera. And so far, little by little, they are building this lead. Let's take a look at the graphs. Almost 1,700 now in favor, wave to wave. It's pretty impressive.
To be fair, most of this is just the fact that Paradigm's now going to wait for now. They're just going to wait patiently. Adapting, going to take his own blue buff here because, well, look at the blue buff because we saw Xaliea over here. But maybe they'll look for Xaliea. They know his dash is down, and I think with 3 men here, they may look for a pick.
They're going to force his ultimate at least. Solar Flare going to connect. No abduct, though. It was off cooldown. Surprising.
And the funny thing is, if they could have timed the abduct at the right time, they could have silenced it before he got Big Baby off, which would have been a big killer for him. Instead, they defend their own blue. Xaliea picks up his own blue and goes back to the wave for now. And Paradigm is just trying to stop Panthera's snowballing this out of control now.
Mid lane, you'll see Yammyn pushing it out once again against 3. No trouble. iRaffer rotates in. It looks like they're going to go for the red buff. Right side, Adapting, still hanging out in solo, trying to lock Xaliea down. A 2-level difference already between the solo laners. Can we actually hover onto Dimi, please? Yeah, he's just a little bit of the ways in. We should see Xaliea at level 10 now. Yeah.
Well, this was the fact that Xaliea lost a whole wave to the tower when he died, then had his boar stolen time and time again, so a little experience lead paying off for Dimi.
And more min-maxing there from the boys. No experience lost on the right side for Dimi. You see Adapting throwing his hammer for the last hit, teleporting as they die to ensure maximum movement times. Gets a wave in mid and then gets the back with an extra 100 gold that he, let's say 40 gold that he wouldn't have had.
Well, there's good news, at least for Paradigm here. You can see Lawbster going back to base, getting boots 2 online, as well as some wards, but has his Doom Orb fully stacked, so if he can actually find something with that now, they could potentially find a pick if Qvo gets a good ult off, followed by an unstable Vortex, which isn't realistically the easiest thing in the world to confirm.
I would like to see him finish the boots first before committing. He's almost there.
On his way, he has just returned to base though, so just needs to farm up a little bit more. Looking for another 600 gold for himself before he finishes those off. And basically, Panthera just kind of taking the foot off the gas a second here, it feels.
Let's actually say golden hand here. We'll see how far Lawbster is away from trying to make that. Looking for Janus on the charts, only at about 400. Needs about 300 more before he can get those boots. And once he does, though, he'll have extra penetration.
Oh, but Adapting might not let them do that. It's going to take to the sky immediately. They might dive the tower for Trixtank.
They definitely heard it. You saw Lawbster immediately out of there.
Got a call from the boys at Paradigm, keeping themselves safe, realizing that at the moment they've just got to weather the storm and hold on.
They're looking at gold, but I mean, there's no way they can do it at this stage.
I mean, they do have a whole Yi, so they've got the ultimates there.
It's true.
Through Space and Time is online for Lawbster. They've also got an Isis. So when we actually see this 10 minutes in, Adapt's going to rotate mid lane one more time. They're going to get Spirit Ball off onto Lawbster, which forces purification there, which is very, very, very important at the moment. Left-hand Harpies are going to be spawning. However, the red is already available here, and we're already seeing this invade.
Okay, Trixtank, 3-man Kata, 3-man Shockwave as well, but he's stuck inside a Venn diagram of instantaneous death, and will find his way back to the base. Emilitoo soon to follow.
Funballer, though, made a good rotation. Going to try and punish him. Yammyn under pressure here as well. Being surrounded by 2, he will fall down to QvoFred, and maybe Paradigm could look for a Gold Fury off this play.
They need to get something right
Dimi's
away.
Here, though.
Dimi rotates over. He does have a fair amount of control. They have to be aggressive here. They have to take this advantage.
Sash missing from QvoFred, unfortunately, otherwise they could have kept the pressure up on to Guan. Instead, they're going to dissuade. I mean, Trix was overly aggressive then. He didn't have much backup really coming, but he went in, got the ultimate off onto 3 targets, forced a fight that in the end worked out very well for Paradigm.
Adapting, taking to the sky, too little, too late.
Is it?
Yes.
Just.
Where'd he go? He's like a magician.
Oh, farm. Yay.
Adapting's like, I'm taking something for this. Getting my minion tax.
Minion tax, that's the big key for a jungler. It's not often said, but...
iRaffer rotating over towards the left side. Gold Fury still available, as you see iRaffer getting ready to place down that sentry ward, most likely aggressively. He will find little, as this has not been warded up by Paradigm just yet. Trixtank will notice this, wait a few seconds, and likely counter, as you see iRaffer doubling back to protect his investment.
All in all, though, Yammyn now got his Doom Mob stacking as well. At the 7 stacks, he did fall down in that little engagement. Full credit for me goes to Funballer for that. He crashed into 3 members, and I was like, okay, that's a little bit too much, but Funballer knew what he was doing. With that golden bow, he procced it on multiple members, which dealt great damage, as well as the Iqval was at the right time. Ninja Tabby, though, picked up for him.
Wow, on Apollo.
Now, the reason we say wow on Apollo, because... well, he's passive. You can overcap really easily on attack speed because of it. If you go for the Chins build with Iqval and Assi, all those attack speed items, when you do have your passive up, you're overcapping on attack speed.
Yeah.
So you don't actually need
might
it.
even already be there. Can we actually hover on Apollo?
2.5.
Yeah, he's already at 2.5.
That's with his passive, though.
Right, which means he's already overcapped, unless it's exactly 2.5.
I think it's exactly. I mean, we should stay with him. If we see him shoot this off, we'll see what he's
But it doesn't matter either way, because as he levels up, he will gain attack speed.
True.
He is overcapped guaranteed. So a very strange pickup. Ninja Tabby is usually not the call, and it's curious to see him go for this early in the game.
Now, emilitoo, on the other hand, has the Ninja Tabby online for the whole Yi, which makes a lot of sense in the early game. Helps
No
him
steroid.
wave clear a little bit. No steroid in his kit. And the difference, actually, between Ninja Tabby and Warrior Tabby is marginal at all stages of the game. There's no a real big difference between them. However, a 50 physical power spike on Warrior Tabby is very influential to a lot of them.
Adapting, coming back in. We got a 2v2 here. Where's iRaffer? There he is, showing up. And we're just missing QvoFred, taking backhams on the left side, and is now rotating towards left as well.
Just keep an eye out for Panthera, because I said this in the last game. They have a timer every season. Last season, the timer was around 16 minutes. This season, it seems a little later, I want to say, but just keep an eye out, because all of a sudden, a switch will be flicked on Panthera, and they'll do something.
Xaliea taking a fair amount of damage here, but he does have his teleport. He'll be able to back for free. Dimi recognizes this as well, will not let him back so easily. He'll be using that conviction to try to keep himself proxying this wave, and he stops him again.
By stopping him back in here, he's out of mana. There's a minion wave coming in as well. He's not worried about taking pot. Look at this, though. The Gold Fury's been started by Dimi's keeping him busy. It's not been started in line. There's a bait around the corner, forcing Trix to use his shield. Dimi's still fighting Xaliea.
He's not letting him do anything. Xaliea doesn't have any mana. He can't teleport from here. If he does, he will die. Adapting to the sky. He's looking for it.
Where's he going to dunk down? Not going to find anyone, actually. He was looking for someone coming out the portal. In the end,
ring.
it wasn't there. Ring toss goes out, but QvoFred, a lot of poke. Good shield from Trix. Will keep him alive. And finally, Dimi picks off Xaliea after stopping him to back for like 5 times.
There's almost no worse feeling from the solo lane is watching yourself get bullied at full health, and you're like, dude, just let me back. He's like, okay, he's just going to keep interrupting me. And eventually it turns into like, oh my god, I'm in trouble. I have to get out of here, and no mana, he's just dead.
Gold Fury started up by Panthera now, 14 minutes in. Whoa, good blink from Trix, though, gets a good Cataclysm of forcing a potential reset on the Gold Fury, which happens, but the sun's rained down on his head, and emilitoo dives in. Great mez from Funballer, keeps him alive.
Yeah, Funball most likely saved the life of Trixtank there, as you see, grouping up once again Funball still trying to keep control. QvoFred does not have his ultimate here, which means his threatening ability is pretty low.
I'll talk about threatening ability. Qvo has to disengage, but in mid lane, Yammyn was there, didn't manage to find the kill, and instead Funball is going to get rooted, forced to purification. The double tap misses from adapting, and Xaliea is here. But the Gold Fury is gone.
A little bit too late. Xaliea wakes up, teleports in, and doesn't really get what he needs to. Panthera finds another objective in this set. That's the first Gold Fury of this game, yes?
First Gold Fury of the game, but they got a lot of tower damage on the right-hand side thanks to Dimi whittling it down with those minions after Xaliea fell down.
And they burned Xalia's teleport. Which is really big because he got nothing off it. In fact, it was just wasted time. Stone Cutting Sword done very early. This build that Xaliea has crafted is very strange.
And why are you saying it's so strange with the Stone Cutting Sword here?
Well, I mean, obviously, movement speed is very important, but he doesn't really have a way to keep up, even with that movement speed. I mean, a character like Isis will be able to get away from him just by using Wing Dust. A wall shuts down the build completely. There's no Frostbound Hammer, there's no Fatalis. He cannot stick to a target like we need Vamana 2. And with that, there's also not enough defense in this build, despite the fact that he has reinforced creeps. Remember, there are not protections on that item.
Talking about Yammyn here as well, you just mentioned him. He went back to base at level 14 to get his relic. He had leveled up twice before getting the relic and gone for Sanctuary, but he'd had that much time on the map before his last recall. It's crazy.
3 times, actually. I mean, if you, 11, you have to be at 11, otherwise you would have had it. So you level up to 12, 13, and then 14. 3 levels he got before getting the
Actually,
relic.
he was like just off 15 because he's just hit that now as well, so he's very close to it. Gone back, got the Helm online, which we see more and more of this season. A little bit later than usual because he wanted the Doom Mob here.
Really?
Through space and time, forced onto Lawbster on that Janus.
Early, too, and adapting takes very little damage as the Conviction comes out to heal.
Blink.
We've seen this
Trix
before.
Again. Good knock up, hitting 3. Funballers in the sky, looking to land on someone, going to crash in, but only really hit Raffer instead. Ain't that circle of protection, and now Funballer's going to get deleted.
Oh my god, Qvo is gone. Xalia's forced into his ultimate here, trying to do some damage. He's actually applying that Stone Cutting Sword really well here, but there isn't much that he can do in this engagement. In fact, he's likely to fall. Even with that Geb shield, he's not in a great spot.
They're choosing to focus onto Lawbster instead. He's trying to get for the ball, but that ricochet! Double tap connected. It wasn't a triple, it was just a double, but it was enough to secure the life of the mid laner. And now Panthera switched their attention to mid lane.
Can you hear Lawbster in your head going, why don't the shots go through the portal too? This is stupid.
That'd be cool if it did, though.
It would be really cool.
Imagine finding an Ares chain through a portal at somebody on the other side.
I de-signed from this petition.
Mid lane, though, Funballer now being pressured. Used a lot of his relics to stay alive, actually, in that last engagement. But he will get defended by Trixtank. They get a tier 1 tower. Panthera start to strip the whole jungle. Everything available, they're trying to take.
Wow, 8-3 now. They got the Gold Fury, a few structures.
What did I tell you? What was the timer? Did you see it? I didn't. There's a timer, though, but they switch on Panthera every time, and look at him. Once again, the Golden Experience is shot through the roof. They're going to get 2 towers out of that as well. And a few seconds ago.
It's just clean, man.
It's crazy.
Clean. Everything they do is so precise. And what's crazy is that started in the same exact way as a previous fight did, but it was so much more dramatically in favor of Panthera because they adapted to it so well. Also, that was through space and time used.
And yeah, they chased him down. Dimi, though, did use his ult. So 1-for-1 trade in the ults. Geb was rolling in as well. They should have found the pick. Qvo was there as well, if you noticed. But so that through space and time would have helped to catch Dimi out of position. Dimi just wise to the situation, played it safe.
And with that, the creeps are already pushed. So even without teleport, Dimi has no risk of losing his tower on the right side. He'll be able to rotate back over very, very quickly. Final relic spot open in the game as Raffer finds himself at level 13.
Really? Unlucky with the ricochet. If he actually lands the ricochet, it's actually quite easy to land once you land the leap off it, but didn't manage to find it that time round. And now he's going to go back to farming again. emilitoo with the standard build we see more of this season. Golden Bow, the newer build. And Apollo obviously picking that one up, making him a little bit more viable.
We are seeing the crit, by the way.
You were calling for that?
Yes, I was. I'm glad to see it.
But I guess with the attack speed that he's maxed here as well, it will pay off for having that crit too now.
That's true, but he doesn't have a major amount of power in this build so far, which I think is very important.
Because adapting's coming.
Missed the wall, wow. But Funball's really in an awkward spot. Trixtank there, I like the fact that he has that shield available so he can make sure that Funball stays safe off of any form of CC. So they notice that as well. Panthera backs off.
Yeah, Paradigm just defend more than anything now, but Dimmy's making a rotation. Xalia's still on the right-hand side. 5 members of Panthera here. Dimmy actually going to clear the ward in the jungle. Teleport being forced from Xaliea
Hey, welcome back.
into this lane. And Dimmy, look at this, against 5, in very deep. Got to be a little bit careful. Forced to horse.
And he's going right back in. In fact, he's going to turn. Doesn't find anyone with the stun. Tower still standing as a shell pops. Through space and time finds one, but not enough. Xaliea takes to the ground. I don't know if he's going to be able to do this.
Qvo goes through the portal looking for the backside. Misses his ultimate, does Qvo. Dimmy picks up Trixtank while that happens. Adapted in the sky, looking to turn his attention to Qvo, who is now evaporated thanks to the double tap Berserker Barrage. Still in the fight though, there's still one man, and it's Xaliea who's trying to bravely run away, but the jump from emilitoo will deny that option.
They don't have any, well, not any, but they don't have enough healing reduction, and it's just conviction after conviction after conviction.
Lawbster's bait was great there. He's still going to fall down, but he portals the wall and goes, I'm going to walk through it. No, I'm not really. And they all ran around the corner expecting the kill. Sadly, though, deicide the way of Panthera. They're going to get a tier 2 and guaranteed a Phoenix.
Yeah, they're going to go right for it. Trixtank will be up in 3 seconds, but there's no way he makes this attempt.
Just going to push straight on there. Still healing with Guan Yu. Take that into account here.
Oh,
with Dimi now joining the fray, those heals are going to keep them sustained throughout the entirety of this game. Phoenix falls. Panthera retreat. Gold Fury available. Fire Giant available. Which one do they want to go for?
The meditation was just so great in that last engagement. iRaffer groups up, gets everyone hit with the med, ensuring more mana, more health, and right after a conviction, it was just like a giant burst of 700 health coming through that Paradigm was just not ready to deal with. They're going to wind up losing a tier 2 for the first time this game, as well as their third Gold Fury, or second Gold Fury? Second Gold Fury.
Yeah, second one.
Second one.
This all started, it's not been that long, this game, Diem.
15 minutes, it's just pop.
15 minutes. It all started with the first Gold Fury that emilitoo took. Once they took that Gold Fury, since then Panthera just went, okay, let's play. We got in the lead, let's go.
Let's look at the graphs and show you 21 minutes in with a 10 kill lead. It's going to be almost 12,000 gold, and it's really not that many structures considering 3,000, 3,750. 2 Gold Furies puts them maybe 6K ahead, maybe 6 to 7, which means 4,000 more gold coming out from fighting.
On QvoFred, forcing his ultimate as well. Dimi comes in from one angle, iRaffer from the other. Shield comes out from Trix to keep Qvo alive, who ended up healing himself as well. But they lose the blue buff. Panthera continue to strip away the jungle. What a good team.
Look at this Ho-Yi build, by the way, going into... he has the Ninja Tabby, so he doesn't need the Iqbal. Goes into Titan's Bane early for extra penetration. Chin size already online. Ton of damage. Last item. Okay, I'm going to assume some form of attack speed.
Rage? No.
No, I'm gonna assume attack speed. Oboe. Especially with the way that Yammyn tore through last game.
That's true.
That Oboe, I think, earned 2 kills last game.
Well, Funballer's build with that Golden Bow start on the Apollo went into the Rage, now looking for some penetration here, potentially. Okay. Could be Titans Bane, could be Brawlers.
I would like it to be Brawlers. It's probably going to be Titans. Brawlers is definitely the right call, though.
Against Dimi and against Isis and against iRaffer.
But then again, it's an Apollo. How is he applying that?
Good call. Mid lane going to get pressured, though. They don't need a Fire Giant to Panthera. They're just going to rip a tier 2 from under Paradigm, who were in a position. Apollo split pushing left-hand side here, Funballer. He's going to have to return to base soon, because otherwise they've spotted him, and they may pressure the Phoenix.
Hover on QvoFred for me. His ultimate's down. Never mind. It's back up. I was looking for the cooldown. Nobody cares anymore. Right side tier 2. The final tower likely to fall very, very quickly.
Rip the switch to 3 space and time. Fire didn't hit anybody. Purification was used by emilitoo there, though, to get him away from danger as Funballer comes crashing in into the circle of protection again, forcing his sanctuary to defensively be used. In the jungle, Dimi versus Qvo.
Oh my god, this damage. Xaliea just unable to hold toe right now with that Ho-Yi. So late into this game.
And the sustain. The sustain is just so strong for Panthera. He's adapting, crashes in. Trixtank's rock is no more. And now, well, they're going to kill the tower.
They make it look easy. They make Paradigm look as if they haven't been playing this game since the beginning of closed beta. I mean, this Paradigm squad are LAN winners. Some of them are world champions. And Panthera make them look like they're playing for the first time this week.
Before Panthera came on the scene through the Challenger Cup, who was the #1 team?
Always. Always.
Trig, now known as Paradigm. Same team, not changed since then. Went to Worlds as the #1 seed, but the only time they struggle against Panthera. Panthera's the only team that really causes them so many issues right now.
And Fire Giant available. Bird on the left still down. You'll notice two people still trying to control that. Both Lawbster and Funball out of position. No way they're getting over there, even with their global ultimates in time.
Look a little bit dead here, Paradigm.
This is done.
Paradigm look despondent in this game now.
A lesson be learned. The crown doesn't take on the kings.
That's a very despondent Paradigm squad to all just be farming and playing safe from there. Nobody really looking towards the Fire Giant, just accepting its resignation completely, just looking to farm up. Granted, they didn't have ultimates available, but they could have looked. They could have looked.
They're going to try to make a defense here. They must defend these Phoenixes. If either one of these Phoenixes fall down without a pure deicide, it's going to be basically GG.
Trix in the front line using his rollout. Going to look for a Cataclysm if he can find one. They're going to focus him with the Abduct. And he's getting bursted before he can get his Cataclysm off. He's deleted. Qvo takes iRaffer up in the sky, which won't be the target he's really after. Doesn't really find any damage. Sashes back in.
And that was a raw ult, which means he bounces back. Yammyn recognizes where Qvo is going to land, blows him up as soon as he hits the ground, immediately taking him out of the equation. And there was nowhere for Lawbster to go. Xaliea tries to get into the front line, but he's stuck in big baby form. No dash available. They don't want the left Phoenix. They don't need it. They want to kill Funball. He can't even get into the sky. Let my man take a breath.
25 minutes, less than 30 seconds. The Titan will fall. Panthera will continue their rampage of Europe. 6-0. 6-0 now in the Pro League. This is all split, full split all over again.
If there was anybody that was going to take a game off of these guys, Paradigm was most certainly the key. And I guess it just wasn't the lock.
It's still, for me, though, personally, he's still going to secure Panthera 1, Paradigm 2.
Agreed.
I don't see Paradigm slipping further than 2.
What do you got for 3?
Cringe Crew or Leftovers?
I'm going Cringe Crew. I think Cringe Crew have what it takes to bring it. But let's continue on with this set. Let's talk a little bit about Dimi and his ridiculous shenanigans throughout this game. I mean, the guy is just a maniac.
I mean, Dimi had a good game. He got the first... Well, this was the kill on Xaliea, which I wanted to see more of, because we didn't get a look.
He's just like, won't let the guy back. It's plain and simple. He just won't let him back. And then he will reset here, but the conviction bait is awesome.
That's what he did wrong. That's what
the last of his mana.
Xaliea threw out the umbrella, and as soon as he did, Dimi realized he could ham in and kill him. Pop sprint, pop cavalry charge, come here, little baby, you're mine. That's all he did.
That's not an easy decision to make, too. I mean, from that position with that health, not knowing where exactly everyone is and what cooldowns are available, you go with the horse through. That's just nuts, man.
Well, let's have a look at some adapting plays, too. Actually, I believe he's on. Is he on the line?
Yeah. Are we going to see some? Are we going to talk to Adapting? Adapting's here with us.
In the studio.
Blessed be. Hi, Adapting. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? I'm good, man.
Your kill-death ratio, I think, is what's up, right? Like, oh my God. What was that game? Talk to us a little bit about the Thor.
The Thor, he's been a bit of like an inconsistent god recently. I haven't been too sure, but I felt like in this game, with them not having any jumps or anything, you could get a lot of good walls and stuff. I thought it was a really good pick.
You started off with a killing spree almost right away, which was incredible. A much better opening, I would say, than the Awelish game, but your Awelish end was amazing. Now, you're on a team with basically no knockups, but there is a Bacchus and Anhur in the other team. Is this why you draft Awelix, or was just the flavor pick that you were feeling at the moment?
No, it was the Bacchus and Anhur for sure. The jumps, just to counter the Bacchus initiation early game.
Cool.
So my question is a little bit more of an expanded one. First of all, last season, you guys were exclusive scrim partners with Fnatic.
Right.
However, this season, you're top of the shops. You technically have pick of the litter of who you want to face off in scrims against. Do you just face off against one team still adapting? Or do you guys, like, just branch out? Because it's probably difficult to try and stay number one as well as still practice.
We've branched out this season. We were talking about whether we want scrim partners or not, and we feel like just scrimming everyone is just better for us because we get a better insight of all the different metas that everyone has in like their own little world, and we just feel like that's better for us.
Do you guys not get a little bit concerned though that you may give you the game away of your own playstyle by doing that?
No, not really.
Wow.
We
Okay.
even if we do, we still feel like we're in a good position.
Speaking of good positions, undefeated, best record right now at 6-0. Do you guys estimate you'll be going to DreamHack undefeated?
No, we don't.
Wow.
We don't expect to go undefeated. We expect to drop some games, but I mean, obviously the goal is to go undefeated, but yeah, it's just a bit unrealistic to think going undefeated into DreamHack.
It's good to have realistic tendencies. Any shout-outs at that team before we let you go?
Just shout outs to all the fans, everyone watching, just everyone, yeah.
Do you stream
Love you
still?
all.
You still streaming?
Yeah,
Where?
stream still. On twitch.tv/theadapting. Come watch for some hot plays.
Hey, I'll help you. There you go, buddy. It's all right. We'll get your stream out there.
Thank you very much for joining us, man. That was Adapting, jungler and relative fan favorite from World Championship team Panthera. After that, let's take a look at the standings. Panthera on top 6-0.
And right at the bottom, Hungry for More slipped to 0-4 here. Mid-pack of the table, Paradigm slipped to 2-2. And we've got more games, obviously, coming up the rest of the weekend.
I'm really excited to eventually see Cringe Crew and Paradigm playoff.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cringe Crew versus Fnatic could be a good one.
That's
already
true.
On
and we
Saturday.
have that tomorrow. It's our next set that we're going to be watching.
Indeed, it will be. Followed that on Sunday, we'll see Enemy versus Denial, which could be an interesting one. Masked will return to face off against Denial, who we started with at the start of the season.
Team Envious
Actually,
versus Luminosity, Monday Night
That's
Smite, of course. Luminosity, their first set, not wonderful, losing to Enemy in a set that most considered was going to be an easy breezy game for them. They fall down to what was technically the top seed from North America.
And Envy, that technically people are classing as one of the potential top seeds alongside Saw right now with Masked on their roster. Yeah, I messed up. With Masked on their roster, I think this could be a very tough game for Luminosity.
I'm excited for tomorrow. We got some good games coming up. Hopefully, we'll get some competitive runs. I am the Cringe Crew fanboy this season.
Really?
I want to see them go to DreamHack. I really do. I love those guys. I love the team comps they're running. I think their individual skill has grown dramatically since Super Regionals, and I'm putting my faith in them.
They're not a long shot by any stretch of the imagination. However, this is a long season, and Europe will not give this up without a fight. There's plenty of teams still interested in going to DreamHack. Find out more on Sunday, but Saturday, don't forget, more action for you too.